380 ACP versus 38 Special Plus P, and what we have today is our Winchester USA ammunition. A lot of people like to refer to this as Winchester White Box. I think even a lot of people think that's its official name, Winchester White Box. But you know, Winchester USA has been around for a long time, offer a lot of target ammo, but they also come in basic hollow points, and that's what this is. So our 380 ACP is a 95 grain jacketed hollow point. Our 38 Special Plus P is a 125 grain semi-jacketed hollow point, even though it says jacketed hollow point. This is really our classic design. This is our bullet that's in our Federal 357B type round. You know, it's a very potent bullet. Might not necessarily do so well in 38 Special, but we'll see how it does. So I'm going to use my Smith & Wesson M&P Shield EZ here, and to compare that, I'm actually going to use my Taurus 605 because it is a little bit better revolver than my 3-inch revolver. And what I've actually been noticing is I think this is a better comparison to this particular gun, even though technically our barrel travel in this 3.68 inch, if you're going to compare it perfectly to a revolver with the same barrel travel, it would be something like 2.5 inch revolver. But when we actually look at the overall size of the guns here, they're very, very similar in overall size, and that's really what I look for in comparison. And I'll show another point of comparison here in just a moment. So I am going to go through the chronograph, see what kind of velocity and accuracy I get at the same time. Then I'm going to do my 10% clear ballistic test. So what I like to do is just a plain shot of plain clear ballistics, no denim, nothing else in the way, to see what the best potential is of these bullets and see if they expand and see how they do. That'll give us kind of a baseline, and then after that I'm going to put 4 layers of denim on the front of this. Then after 3 inches of clear ballistic, like hitting a pectoral muscle, because that's about like an 1.5 inch pectoral muscle, I'm going to have a 1/4 inch medium density fiberboard to represent hitting ribs or sternum. So that will be more of our real world simulation versus our best case scenario simulation. So we'll see how these compare, and then I'm going to shoot at my steel silhouette and we'll see what kind of practical accuracy I can get. So let's get started with this test. All right, so I got my fingers through the trigger guards here because my point of comparison I wanted to show is that when we talk about the distance from my hand, my thumb knuckles here to the muzzles, they're almost the same. So I kind of don't really care about perfect barrel comparison. I care about perfect gun size comparison, and that's kind of what I feel like I got with this. So our 380 ACP 95 grain is rated at 955 feet per second. The 38 Special is rated at 945, but the difference there is, you know, typically this is going to be about a barrel length they're going to use for getting those velocity numbers, as where a 2-inch barrel is a lot shorter. So let's see what we get for velocity with our 380 ACP, about 5 yards from the target, 4 yards from the chronograph. Let's see how close we get to 955. 850. 900. 877. 805. 883. So very inconsistent and very much below rated velocity. 38 Special rated at 945 feet per second. Let's see what we get out of my 2-inch Taurus 605 here. 904. 883. 902. 888. 862. So very comparable velocity. However, this bullet is 30 grains heavier, so obviously it's going to be more powerful. So let's hit our ballistics gel block with these and see how they compare. All right, I'm going to test the best potential of these rounds here. Just plain clear ballistics. So here's our 380 ACP. And here is our 38 Special. Let's go take a look. All right, so there's definitely a difference. There's not a huge amount of damage in there, to be honest, with either of these. But, you know, clear ballistics doesn't always tell you exactly the whole picture because it is kind of a weird substance. But what we're looking at here is with our 380 ACP, we're at about 11 inches. We do have the petals peeled back in expansion, about as big as it'll go. And with our 38 Special, we have the same thing where we have a really controlled expansion. It's not massive, but it is deformed and what I would call expanded. And we're at a penetration of about 14¼ inches. So, you know, our 380 is a little bit shallow here, but our 38 Special penetrated enough. So let's put in our medium density fiberboard and see how they compare that way. All right, 4 layers of denim, a 1/4 inch medium density fiberboard. Let's see how our 380 does. All right, let's do that same thing. 38 Special. Go take a look. All right, so we did not get over penetration. I thought maybe we might, but we didn't. And what we got there with our more real world simulation with our 380, we didn't get expansion, but we did get a good penetration of 17 inches. So that's a perfectly acceptable penetration. What we're looking at here with our 380 is that we don't have any expansion at all before we hit this MDF. With this, it looks like there's potentially a little bit of deformation before it hit this MDF, so it's starting to deform immediately. And with that, we have a penetration almost the same as before. We're at about 14¼ inches. And we do have some nose deformation and a little bit more damage than the 380. So, you know, the energy numbers kind of dictate what we're seeing here. Is we're going to get a little bit better performance with our 38 Special. So let me shoot up my steel silhouette and see how the practical accuracy is of these rounds. All right, 25 yards from the target. Let's see what we get here with our 380 ACP. I'm just going to slow fire center mass to see how they do for me. All right, a couple of them went kind of high for me. 38 Special, 25 yards. See how this does. All right, they're printing just a hair to the left for me. Let me back it up a little. All right, 50 yards from the target, 380 ACP. See how these do for me. Somehow I pulled a couple there. See what we get with our 38 Special. All right, one of them got away from me. Let me back it up a little more. All right, 75 yards from the target. Let's see what I can do with these. Not really sure where they're hitting, but see if I can make some hits. So let's see what I can do. 75 yards. That one hit significantly low, even though I did not change my point of aim. That was a steel plate that's protecting my downrange camera. I sometimes wonder if I need that. Now I'm glad I had it there. Keep going. So, you know, I didn't feel like I was doing anything different that would cause those to miss. But, you know, at that distance, the sight is about the same size as the entire target, so any little thing can definitely cause a shift there. Let's see what I can get with our 38 Special. I got 5 more rounds. I want to give up right here though. So I ain't gonna make all these 5. I never do. I'm even kind of low on the target, just a little bit low center. I had a couple that went just a little bit to the right and one that went to the left. So, you know, that's all on me, obviously, because of those first 3 shots, I wasn't really thinking or trying. And when I start thinking, I start missing. But you know, it's still pretty far for a little 2-inch snub. But overall, the thing I'm seeing with this, the thing that really stood out to me was the differences in consistency. It seemed like the 380 ACP just, it lacked consistency. It was like our velocity numbers were changing pretty significantly across the chronograph, and then I had one that hit a steel plate that's protecting my camera, and that is about 4 feet low and about 2.5, 3 feet to the right. You know, that's outside of any like error I could cause, because you know I'm not going to pull them that much. So we obviously had something that was off with velocity with that was causing that, and I just saw a little bit of just everything moving all around. But with our 38 Special, this is one of the more consistent loads that I have tested. It's very consistent across the board. Consistent velocities and accuracy. Wasn't perfect on paper at 5 yards, but that was just me. Very consistent when we went through our gel block, but both with plain gel and with our MDF and Denim. Very consistent with the accuracy that I was able to place with these. And anything that was off, that was me. So what I'm going to say here is that this seems like a pretty decent go-to. I would not hesitate carrying something like that. I think it would do really well. As well, when we're looking at 380 ACP, what you typically have to do is get something that's spectacular in order for it to work well. As we're 38 Special, just some cheap stuff, you know, that you buy that's semi-jacketed in 50-round boxes, that seems to work really well. You know, and it's because it is a plus P, and I get trolled so often that I'm not using 380 ACP plus P from people that just started shooting. Obviously, they don't realize that 380 ACP is not an official cartridge by Sammy Specs, and it could potentially be dangerous. As for 38 Special plus P is actually, I believe it's a lower pressure than even 380 ACP, and it's very much safe in standard. So that's what you get today with both of these. I'd say yes on the 38 Special, maybe not so much on the 380. So that's what you get today. So as always, comment, share, and like, and thanks for watching.